crochet vest. I made a vest.
Hello!
Everything will probably go in and out of one thorn, and we break. Airborne as we face misconceptions.
Hello everyone, welcome back to another video. Today, as you can already tell by the title and also for what I'm wearing right now, I'm going to be showing you guys how to crochet a vest that it's super trendy right now on Instagram, on Pinterest, on YouTube. Everyone is making one and I wanted to give this one a try. I did it and I think I succeeded because it looks amazing. It's a little bit different. It's kind of like oversized and a little bit longer than what you guys are kind of used to see on Instagram and Pinterest. They usually do cropped. I really wanted to do a cropped one, but then I thought of doing it longer because then you guys can decide if you want to do longer or cropped as well, because longer, it's a little bit different because you have to add more rows. But if you guys want to do cropped, then you guys can just do less rows and follow all the same steps. I'm super excited about this one. I loved how it turned out, so I really hope you guys enjoy as well. So if you guys enjoyed today's video, make sure to give a massive thumbs up. Also, don't forget to subscribe to the channel so you can watch more videos like this one. So enjoy the video guys, and let's begin with today's tutorial. So these are all the materials that we are going to be using for today's video. So I have right here first the yarns that I'm going to be using. So these two amazing yarns are from Tessiland.com. So I have right here the Barry and the Celine yarn. This one is in the shade Radical Red and this one is in the shade Mustard. So the Barry one, this one that I have right here is 250 grams, 30% wool and 70% acrylic, and is also 375 meters. And then the second yarn that I have right here is the Celine. It's 60% wool and 40% acrylic. It's 100 grams and it's 150 meters. Also, I'm going to be using an 8mm hook. You guys can use any other hook size that you guys want. The 8mm worked pretty well for both of my yarns. And I'm also going to be using a measuring tape, stitch markers, and last but not least, a tapestry needle. Also, I completely forgot to mention that we are also going to be using a small pair of scissors. You already know that we are going to be needing a small pair of scissors or a pair of scissors to cut the threads, but I forgot to mention at the beginning, so just to let you guys know. So the very first thing that we are going to be making for the tutorial is this one right here, and this is how the pattern that we are going to be learning in today's video looks like. So a super pretty pattern. It's like a shell pattern going all over here, the front and the back of our vest. Also, if you guys want to do in two different colors, this is how the pattern is going to look like. Just if you guys want to do in two different colors and you don't know how it looks like. To discover the sizing that I wanted to do, I've measured my bust area, and I'm basically going to be doing the bottom right here, the sizing of my bust area. So my bust area is 88 centimeters. So I got that, and then I divided by 2, which is 44 centimeters, as you can see. And then that's going to be basically the sizing of my vest for the front and the back panel. And then when it's all together, that's going to be 88 centimeters. Just if you guys are wondering how to measure, if you are doing for your size, this is something that I'm going to be sharing, and I always share on my videos as well, so you can make perfectly to fit you. So the first thing that we are going to be doing is a slip knot. So to make a slip knot, you're going to be leaving a little bit of the yarn here, like just a little tail, just like that. And the working yarn is going to be towards this side. What you're going to be doing is using your index finger and your middle finger. You're going to be wrapping this yarn around your fingers like this, kind of crossing them over. So you're just going to be wrapping it, and then you're going to be leaving it at the back like this. With your hook, you can go under the very first yarn, and you're going to be grabbing the other one, pulling it, inserting your hook right here. you're going to be letting your fingers go. Now you're going to tighten the knot here by just pulling these two yarns right here. Now you can hold the tail with the other yarn right here, which is connected to the ball. You're going to be pulling that and you're going to be making it tighter until it snugs the hook here. As you guys can see, you don't want to make it too tight, but just so it's around your hook. So now you're going to be laying your measuring tape down on the 44 centimeters, which is half of your bust area. So you're gonna get that, and we are going to be making a chain that it's basically 44 centimeters long. So now we are going to be starting with our chain. So to chain, we are going to be yarning over and pulling through the loop. So yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through, until you reach the centimeters that you want. I'm going to be doing a chain of 42 for the measurement that I'm going to be doing. So as you guys can see, I have completed my chain of 42. I'm going to be removing here my hook so I can measure this one with you guys. So to measure, you're going to be starting from the beginning here of your measuring tape. So what you're going to be doing is just pulling slightly until it reaches the 44 centimeters. You don't want to pull too much. If I pull all the way, it's gonna be around 52, 53 centimeters. But if I just pull slightly, it's gonna reach to 44 centimeters. Also because when you create double crochets or any stitches here on top of the chain stretches a little bit. That's why you want to pull just a little bit so it reaches to that centimeters. So it's around 3 centimeters before the centimeters that you need without pulling, as you guys can see. Just if you guys are wondering, I know that this can be a little bit complicated, but if you guys don't follow these steps right here, your project can be too big. So just explain to you guys and give you guys a few tips on how to make it perfectly to fit you. So once you have your chain here, you're going to be now chaining an extra of 3, so we can go up and start the very first row here with the shells. So we are going to be holding this one in place, the chain number 42, and then we are going to be chaining an extra of 3 right here, and then we are going to be creating our very first double crochet into that stitch right here. So I'm just going to be doing one here, and then I'll show you guys how to do the double crochet. You're going to be wrapping the yarn around the hook. You're going to go through that stitch, the same one that you've done the first one, so this one. Then you're going to be pulling up a loop right here. So now you're going to be having 3 loops here on the hook, and then you're going to yarn over, pull through 2, and then yarn over and pull through the last 2. So that's how we make a double crochet. So now we are going to be skipping 1, 2, into the next one. You're going to be doing a single crochet, which is basically going through that stitch, the chain, and then you're going to pull up a loop, and then you're going to yarn over and pull through the last 2 loops right here. So now we are going to yarn over. You're going to be skipping 1, 2 into the 3rd chain right here. You're going to go through that chain. You're going to pull up a loop, and then you're going to yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through the last 2. So right here, we are going to be creating 5 double crochets. So I've created 1. So now you're going to go and you're going to be creating 4 more double crochets right here, having a total of 5 double crochets into that same stitch. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So now you're going to be skipping 2 into the next one. You're going to be doing a single crochet, skip 2 into the next one, 5 double crochets, and this is the pattern that we are going to be following here for this very first row. and then skipping 2 into the next one, a single crochet. So now I'm just going to be following the pattern all the way down, and then I'll meet you guys right at the end. So once we get to the end, we are going to be having 5 stitches here at the end. So we are going to be skipping the first 2 single crochet into the third right here. So now we are going to be having 2 stitches left. So what we are going to be doing is creating into the very last one, skipping the next one into the last stitch. We are going to be creating the 3 double crochets exactly as we did at the beginning of the row. So now we are going to be chaining 1, and we are going to be turning our project here to the other side. So now for the next row, we are going to be creating the 5 double crochets right on top of the single crochets from the previous row, which is basically in between the shells right here. So the single crochet right here in the middle. So go through the single crochet, and right here we are going to be creating 5 double crochets. So now you're going to be finding the middle here of the shell. So you're going to be counting 1, 2. As you can see, this is the first double crochet right here. 1, 2. Into the third stitch, you're going to be creating a single crochet. And then you're going to be going into the single crochet, which is in between the shells right here. And then you're going to be creating the 5 double crochets. And then you're going to go into the middle double crochet here from the shell, and you're going to be creating a single crochet. And then now you're going to be following the pattern all the way down, and then I'll meet you guys right at the end. So when you get towards the end right here, I'm going to be now creating my last group right here with the double crochets into my single crochet right here, which is my last single crochet. So to finish this row off, we are going to be skipping the first double crochet, the second on the third one, which is basically the chain that we've created into the previous row. We are going to go into that stitch, and we are going to be creating a single crochet right here. For the next row, it's basically copying exactly as the very first row right here, but using the stitches that we have here in the shells to follow the pattern. So we are going to be starting with a chain of 3, and then we are going to be turning our project, and then into this very first stitch right here that it's basically from the chain, this one right here, we are going to be creating 2 double crochets into that stitch. And then we are going to be following now the same as we were doing into the previous row. So you're going to be skipping 2 stitches from the shell. Into the third one, we are going to be creating a single crochet. And then when you see a single crochet, you're going to be creating 5 double crochets. When you see a shell, you're going to be creating a single crochet into the middle double crochet. So now I'm just going to be following the same steps, and then I'll show you guys the next row just one more time so you know how to do it. So I got here now at the end of my third row. So I'm gonna prepare here for my double crochet. I'm going to be skipping the 2 double crochets that I have right here from the shell. I'm gonna go right here into this chain 1 that we have right here, into that stitch, and then right here we are going to be creating 3 double crochets. So we have basically this row completed, and it's basically exactly like the very first one. So I'm just gonna show you guys one more time, but it's following the same steps as the second row. You guys can always go back into the video and watch it again if you need to, because I know that a different pattern for a beginner can be a little bit complicated. So you can chain 1 now, turn project. As we have finished this row here with half of a shell, so 3 double crochets, we are going to be starting this row with a chain of 1 and then 5 double crochets into the first single crochet right here. So this is what we are going to be doing. So 5 double crochets on top of this single crochet right here. On top of the shell here, right in the middle, so skipping first, second on the third stitch, we are going to be creating a single crochet. And then on top of the single crochet, we are going to be doing 5 double crochets. And this is basically the pattern that we are going to be following until we have the rows that we need for the very first part that I'm going to be explaining out to you guys. So this is how it looks like once you have 4 rows completed. To count the rows, I always go here and then I find my very first 3 double crochets right here. So this is the first row, and then I find the next 5 double crochets right here. So that's the second. And then you go like this to count the rows. So 1, 2, 3, 4 rows. Because now we are going to be doing as many rows as we need to go all the way to your armpit, or basically to where you want to start to carve and to create the decreases for the armholes. I'm going to be doing 14 rows in total for this part. I'm going to be measuring now on the other one that I have completed, so I can show you guys the measurement so you can actually make the same measurement if you are using a different yarn weight, because this one is a little bit chunkier. And I'm basically going to be creating from here all the way to here with the shells. From here all the way to the very first row, it's 24 centimeters. So now I'm just gonna go ahead and finish the 14 rows that I have to do for the very first part, and then I will be back with you guys to help you and to show you how to make the decreases. So now for the decreases, we are not gonna be chaining right here. We are going to be turning the project this way. And what we are going to be doing is creating 3 slip stitches into the next 3 stitches. So it's basically the one right on top of the middle double crochet here from our shell. So how to make a slip stitch? You're gonna go through the stitch right here, the next one you can find. You're going to pull up a loop. So basically a beginning of a single crochet, but instead of yarning over and pulling through, you're gonna get the same yarn that it's right here on the hook. So the first one, you're going to be grabbing that yarn and you're gonna go through the previous loop. So that's a slip stitch. And then we're going to be repeating into the next 2 stitches. So this one and this one right here. And then from here, we are going to be starting our pattern again. So right here, we have a single crochet. So we are going to chain 1, and we are going to be creating the 5 double crochets that we have to do right here. So basically following the pattern. Now we can start to use our stitch markers. So right here is the beginning of our row. So we are not counting the slip stitches right here because this is the decreases that we are going to be doing. So place a stitch marker right here, and you're going to be continuing following the pattern right here. And then I'll meet you guys when I have my very last shell, so I can show you guys how we are going to be decreasing at the end of the row as well. So when we get to the end right here, we are just going to be following exactly the same as we did to the beginning of the row. We are going to be counting from the end right here 3 stitches. So 1, 2, 3. You can place a stitch marker right here, so you know that you're going to be finishing your row here into this stitch. And then we are going to be doing our last shell. And then we are going to be slip stitching into this stitch here, so we can finish this row off. So now here for the second row with the decreases, we are going to be doing something a little bit different. So we are going to be starting here with a chain of 3, turning our project. And then right here, we are going to be doing 1 row all the way down, following the pattern. So starting right here with 2 double crochets, and then single crochet in the middle of this shell right here, and then following with the pattern all the way down. So when you get here at the end, where the stitch marker is, we are going to be removing the stitch marker, and into that stitch, we are going to be creating 3 double crochets, so it's the same as the beginning of the row. We are doing kind of like a different decrease right here, so it's not super sharp, the decrease, so it goes quite slightly decreasing here the armholes, because we don't want it to be too going in, we want it to kind of curve it out a little bit. You will see what I mean when we have this completed. So now the next row is following the same steps as we did into the first one right here. So we're not going to be chaining, we're going to be turning the project. So now we're going to go with slip stitches until the single crochet right here. So we are going to go on top of the double crochets right here, and then you're going to be slip stitching here on top of the chain 1, and then right here we are going to be starting a new row. So you're going to chain 3, and then we are going to be following the pattern right here. So you can continue the pattern, and then I'll meet you guys right at the end, but it's basically just finishing off into the single crochet right here, but I'll come back with you guys. So when you get at the end, you're just going to be creating the 3 double crochets into the very last single crochet right here, just so we do exactly the same as the beginning of the row. So now we are going to be stopping with the decreases. We have done right here 3 rows in total. So now we are going to be starting with the normal rows again. So here we have the 3 double crochets. So we are going to be starting with a chain of 1 and then going into the next single crochet available right here and create the 5 double crochets, and then following the pattern all the way down. And for the normal rows, just going up, we are going to be doing 4 rows in total. So I have 1 already that I'm doing right here, and I'm going to be doing 3 more rows, just going up with no decreases. So to finish here the first row after the 3 rows here with the decreases, we are going to be doing the 5 double crochets right here to create the shell. And then you're gonna go into the very first stitch right here and create a single crochet. From here, we can just continue the rows. As I told you guys, I'm going to be doing 4 rows more right here. So I've done 1, so I have 3 more to do. Once I have the 3 rows completed, I'll come back and then I'm going to be showing you guys how to make the straps. So as you guys can see, I have finished here with the 4 rows that I was going to do, just going up right here. So that's done. And in total right here, I have 21 rows, just if you guys are wondering. And I'm also going to be measuring this for you guys. And here it's basically from my chest all the way to the bottom. Also remembering that I'm still going to be having kind of like a finishing right here, more like a hemming. So this is not the length for my project. So right now I have 37 centimeters. I've wanted to do a little bit thick the straps. It's going to be around 10.5 centimeters, so around 4 inches. And then we are going to be adding a stitch marker into these 2 single crochets here after and before these 2 shells right here. So I have 1 single crochet right here and then another single crochet right here. And we are going to be basically following the pattern from here to here. So I'm just going to show you guys what to do at the end right here, because here it's going to be following the same as we were doing before. So we are going to chain 1 and turn the project. And then right here, as you can see, we have a single crochet. So we are going to be doing the 5 double crochets right here. And then we have the 5 double crochets right here. Right in the middle, we are going to be doing a single crochet. And to finish it off, we are going to be going into the stitch here with the stitch marker, so on top of that single crochet, and we are going to be creating 3 double crochets. And then from here, we are going to be following the pattern going back and forth. So chain 1, turn project, 5 double crochets, single crochets, 3 double crochets. So now I'm just going to be following the pattern right here, and I'm going to be creating 7 rows for my strap. I'm not sure if I'm going to be keeping the 7 rows or if I'm going to be adding more rows or taking away rows from the straps that I have right now. So I'm just going to be doing the 7 that I'm currently doing for this one. Once you've done that one, you're going to fasten off. I'm going to show you guys that, and then you're going to be attaching into this side to start a new row. So I'm gonna go finish this one and then I'll be back with you guys. So I have right here 7 rows in total. I'm going to be leaving a little bit of yarn right here, but I'm not gonna fasten off, as I already told you guys that I'm going to be checking the amount of rows that I'm going to be doing right here. So I'm just gonna leave it like that for now, and then I'll show you guys how to fasten off later. To attach to this side right here, you guys will be creating a slip knot. And then you can decide if you want to start on this side or this side. I'm going to be starting from here so that it looks like exactly the same as the other one. We just want to turn the project this way, and then we are going to be attaching into any of the stitches. If you attach into this stitch right here, then you're going to be leaving as it was before. If you're going to be attaching into this one, as I'm doing, then you're going to be turning your project. So you're going to be inserting your hook into the very beginning here of this row. So as you can see, into the chain 3 right here. And then we are going to be pulling up a loop right here and creating a single crochet right here. So I'm going to be now doing on this side the 7 rows for the straps, and then I will be back with you guys so we can continue with the project. So once we have the front completed, we are now going to be doing the back, and the back is going to be a little bit different as we are not going to be having the neck right here. So what we are going to be doing is following the same steps for the 21 rows from the bottom all the way to the top right here. So we have the decreases and everything exactly as we did to the front. But when you get to the top right here, we are going to be doing 4 more rows here with the pattern going up. And then for the straps, we are going to be doing only 3 rows. So now I have the back here completed. We can also do this one for the front as well if you don't want it to be too deep here, the cleavage. But I just think that it's going to look a little bit better like this. So now I have both parts completed, as you guys can see, so you can go ahead and do both of them if you don't have both completed. I have my one right here. So once you have them completed, we are going to be basically sewing the sides here close. I just like to place a stitch marker at the beginning and at the end, grabbing both parts together so I know exactly where I have to sew. So I'm going to be placing one stitch marker right here, and then on the other side as well, into this stitch, and then the same here on the other side. So this one right here. So now to sew these parts together, we are going to be using our tapestry needle and a little bit of the yarn. We are going to be threading right here our tapestry needle with the yarn, and we are going to be making a knot with both of the ends here of the yarn. As I'm going to be sewing with a double yarn, you can also sew with a single yarn, but I just prefer a double yarn so it's a little bit more secured. You guys can start from underneath the armpits or here at the bottom. I'm going to be starting at the bottom because I just prefer starting here. So I'm going to be getting one stitch here from the bottom, and then one here from the other side as well, the same stitch. And then I'm just gonna go through that stitch. Once you have the end of the yarn, you're gonna go through the yarn, and you're going to basically fasten off here at the beginning. These two we are going to weave in at the end. You can turn them like this as well, so you can sew them a little bit better here right at the end, just matching the end pretty well, because you don't want it to be uneven. So I'm gonna go through like 2-3 times just to make this nice and secured in place. Once you've done that here at the bottom, you can just grab one stitch from one side, one stitch from the other side, and then just work your way all the way up here to the stitch marker. You're gonna go through the very last stitch again. You're going to be making a loop here at the end. You're gonna go through the loop and you're going to fasten off. And then right here, we can already weave in to hide the yarn right here. So I'm going to be showing you guys how to do that. So you're gonna go through a couple of stitches here going down. And then you're gonna go back using different stitches. And then one more time going back using different stitches. You can go ahead and cut the yarn right here, leaving a little tail. And then you're going to be moving one of these yarns into any stitch here from the reverse. And then right here, we are going to be making a knot. You can do a double knot, a triple knot. I usually do a triple knot. And then I cut my yarn. There we go. So that's how I weave in my yarns, so you know how I do it, so I don't have to show you guys every time I weave in, because it's basically using the same technique every time. And also when I come back, I will have the other side here sewed together as well, so we can move on into the next step. Also make sure that when you're sewing, you also have this part on the reverse, so you can actually sew both of the parts on the reverse of the project, so we have a reverse and the right side of our project, of our vest, just to make sure that you don't sew this part on the reverse and the other one basically on the right side, because then it's not gonna look nice. Once you have your project completed, you will see the sewing kind of sticking out on the right side. I'm placing a stitch marker right here, so I know that this is my reverse, so I do all the sewings that I have to do and also the weave-ins on the reverse of my project. So now I'm going to be sewing the straps here together. I've tried it on and the straps looks perfect, so I'm going to be leaving it as it is. So I have 7 rows here at the front and 3 here at the back. Also guys, something really bad happened. So basically I work here very close to a heat that it's right here, and my hook just fell inside of the heat and I cannot find my hook. So basically I'm not going to be able to use my 8mm hook anymore, because that was the only one I had, and unfortunately I don't have another one. But I'm going to be using now my 6mm hook just to finish it off all the other details. Unfortunately I lost my hook. So to fasten off the strap, I already did this one right here. You're going to be chaining 1 and you're going to be pulling the yarn to fasten off. So that's how you fasten off. I'm going to be doing this to all of the other ones. So to sew my strap in place, I'm going to first create a knot with these 2 right here. I'm going to be using both of these yarns to sew the straps together. So I'm just going to be creating a knot right here at the beginning with these 2 right here. So a triple knot. I'm going to be using my tapestry needle and I'm going to be sewing the straps together. So I'm gonna go through 1 stitch and then another one from the other side and sew the 2 together. And I'm just going to be following this all the way down. And then when you guys have finished the sewing right here, you guys can go ahead and fasten off and weave in as I showed you guys before. So now once you've done one side, we can go ahead and repeat here on the other strap. So now we have finished sewing the straps and also the sides right here, as you guys can see. And now we are going to be doing the finishings for around the arms, for the neck, and also for the bottom right here. So I'm going to be doing one of them to see how it looks, to see if I like the design, and then I will be back with you guys to explain how I did it. So this is the finishing that I decided to do going around my entire project. So we have one row, which is the very first one, with single crochets, just so we have a base to start the actual pattern. And then we have 2 rows with the front and back post double crochets. So I'm going to be showing you guys that. And also this pattern is more like to be a little bit stretchier, and also so it looks more like an original vest, let's say. Usually for like cardigans and jumpers and vests, they usually have this as a finishing. So I thought that this would work pretty nicely, and I really love how it looks like on the vest right here, and also with the different colors. So that's what I'm going to be showing you guys how to make now. So I'm going to be showing you guys how to make going around the neck, because it's basically the same to create the other sleeve here and also the bottom. But then the bottom, I think I'm going to be doing 1 row more or 2 than what I've done right here, but let's see what I'm going to be doing. So you guys can choose any of the stitches here from the back. You go through that stitch and you create a single crochet to just attach the yarn in place, and then you're going to chain 1. So the first row is going to be with only single crochets, so we are going to go all the way around right here with single crochets. As you can see here, we have some stitches, but then on the sides right here we don't really, so I'm going to show you guys how we are going to be doing for the sides where we don't have stitches. And when you guys get to the corner right here and right here, we are just going to be basically creating a single crochet right here. So right here we are going to be trying to find the double crochets, and then also the space in between the double crochets. As you can see here and here, there is 2 double crochets, and there is a little space right here. So going around this double crochet, we are going to be creating 2 single crochets. So 1 and 2, and then in between, into this little stitch right here, we are going to be doing 1. You can just find the stitches. I know that they will be kind of hidden, but you want to try to get all the sided double crochets that you have here on the side. Also for the stitches right here, you want to try to have an even number. I'm going to be counting my stitches and I'll let you know how many I have, because if we need to add more at the end, then we can just add 1 extra right at the end to make an even number. You have the stitches right here, so we can just go ahead and follow the stitches that we have here at the front, and then we can create the single crochets following these stitches right here. And then we are going to be following exactly the same here on the other strap and finish it off. When I'm right at the end, I'll come back so I can show you guys how to slip stitch. So I have right here 80 single crochets, just if you guys are wondering, also because we need to keep as an even number for this pattern right here. So 80 stitches. Also when you go up, you also want to just keep in mind that you count the double crochets that you're going to be doing, just to make sure that you also have 80 double crochets. We are gonna go back into the very first one that we've created, this one right here. You're gonna go through that stitch, make it nice and tight here, and then go through, pull up a loop, and then you're going to basically slip stitch both together in place. So this is how it looks like, as you guys can see. So now we are going to be creating the pattern, which is this one right here. So we are going to be starting with a chain of 2, and then we are gonna go and skip this very first stitch right here, that it's basically from this single crochet right here. We're gonna go into the next one, And then right here is going to be our first double crochet. And what we are going to be doing is following the stitches right here, and we are going to be creating double crochets all the way around. And then I'll meet you guys when I get here to basically the other side. So I have completed here 79 double crochets. So I'm going to be creating here my last one, so 80. And then I'm going to be connecting right here with the slip stitch. So this is how it looks with one row of double crochets going all the way around. You could leave it like this, but I think it's gonna look better with this little pattern here going all the way around. So first we are going to be chaining 3, and the pattern is going to be starting into this very first chain 3 right here. So you're going to wrap the yarn here around the hook. You're gonna go under the chain 3, as you can see with your hook, and then you're going to be pulling up a loop right here, going under the chain 3, and then right here we are going to be creating a double crochet. So yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through the last 2. So now we are going to be doing exactly the same to this double crochet right here, but grabbing it from the back. So you're going to wrap here the yarn around the hook. You're gonna go at the back here of the project, as you can see. I'll leave it like that so I can show you guys a different angle after. And then you're going to be inserting the hook right here into this space. You're gonna go around that double crochet, and then you're going to come out from the other side, as you can see. And then right here you're going to pull up a loop, going around the double crochet, and then right here you're going to be creating the double crochet. So into the next one it's going to be under, but from the front, and then right here you're going to be creating your double crochet, and then the next one is going to be grabbing it from the back, and then you're gonna go here at the back, as you can see. I'm going to be trying to get another angle. So this one is the next one that we're gonna get. You're gonna grab that double crochet, so you're gonna go around it, and then right here we are going to be creating a double crochet. So this is going to be creating that effect that we have right here. So it's going to be one grabbing it from the front and one grabbing it from the back. I'm going to be showing you guys a couple more so you guys can see how I do it. So now what I'm going to be doing is just repeating the same pattern, going all the way around here the neck of my vest, and then I'll meet you guys when I'm right at the end. When you get at the end, you will have one last double crochet that you have to also do the pattern, and this one is going to be one that you're going to be grabbing it from the back, and then you're going to be doing your double crochet. And then right here we are gonna go into this very first double crochet right here, right on top of that, and then we are going to be slip stitching the two sides together. So I'm going to fasten off and weave in. So what I'm going to be doing now, guys, it's creating the same that I've created right here, going around the arms right here. And also I'm going to be making the same, going all the way around the bottom here of my vest. If I add one more row, then I will be back here and then I'll show you guys how to add one more row into the pattern, because it's basically following the same steps, but I wanted to show you guys how to make it as well if you don't know how to do it. And I know that it can be a little bit confusing if you don't know how to make this pattern right here. So super excited on how it looks like so far. It's so pretty. So I'm gonna go and I'm going to be finishing off the sleeves and the bottom, and then I'll be back with you guys in a second. And can you guys see how amazing this looks? I cannot wait to try it on and to show you guys how it looks like on, because it's so pretty. I love the colors. I love all the details in the texture as well that it has, the pattern. Everything together looks so beautiful. I cannot wait to show you guys. And also I have done exactly the same amount that I've done for the top. I've done here also for the bottom. And I think it just needs to be a little bit thicker here at the bottom. So maybe the same amount that it's here, but one more time, like around that much. The next row is basically looking what you already have coming next, so you can actually do exactly what it's asking you to do. So right here, it's at the back, as you guys can see. So we are still going to be getting this one from the back. So we are going to be starting with a chain of 3. And then wrap around the hook right here, the yarn, and then go backwards. And then right here, we are going to be creating a double crochet. And if the next one is sticking out like this, you're gonna grab it from the front. This one is at the back, so you're going to be grabbing it from the back. This one, it's at the front, so you're going to be grabbing it here at the front. So basically this is what you're going to be following for the next row and all of the other ones that you're going to be doing next. I'm thinking of doing around 2 rows more, so it's going to be 4 rows in total here with the pattern. Guys, we are done. Oh my god, we have completed the cutest vest on the internet. I cannot even believe that I made this. Let's congratulate ourselves, a little tap on the back for ourselves to complete today's tutorial, because how cute is this vest? Let me know in the comments, guys, what you guys think about this tutorial. If you guys liked how it turned out, if you guys end up making, let me know how it was for you guys to follow the tutorial. And also if you are a beginner, let me know how it was for you guys to follow as well. So the length from shoulder to bottom is 53 centimeters. If you want to do this one a little bit cropped, then what you're going to be doing is following the same steps that we did right here, but instead of doing the 14 rows, you're just going to be doing 4 or 5 rows here, and then you're going to be adding the hemming at the bottom, and then it's going to be cropped. If you want to do longer, you guys can just continue these rows here a little bit longer than what I've done. I am super excited about this one. I haven't tried it yet. I cannot wait to try it on, to just put together a little outfit so I can take a few pictures for you guys to see how this looks with a cute outfit. So I cannot wait to share that with you guys. But yeah, guys, thank you so much for sticking out until the end of the video. I really hope you guys enjoyed today's tutorial. If you did, make sure to give a massive thumbs up. Also, don't forget to subscribe here to the channel so you can watch more videos like this one. I love making tutorials for you guys, so giving a like, commenting, and also turning on the notification bell helps a lot here at the channel to grow. So thank you guys so much again for watching, and I'll see you guys next Friday. Bye. Oh my god. Leon just jumped. Leon, you cannot make noises when mommy is recording a video. Oh my god, I got so scared now. Bye.